Hey, we're live here.
We are live.
We are live. Welcome to the Northwest Georgia Football Scoreboard Show. Friday night wrap up, man. Just seeing some of these scores for the first time myself tonight. Had some big games in the area. I guess the Calhoun Blessed Trinity game's still in progress, huh?
Calhoun's punted down to the BT 7 yard line, and BT's got the ball with a minute and 10 left, down 32-27.
32-27. Yeah, I figured that one was going to come up first tonight. Haralson County 42, Callaway 14.
Yeah, I
Boy,
saw that.
Our boy
That
D-Fly.
I was surprised by that. I thought that'd been close.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be. I think we all picked the other way around, or we all thought the other way around.
I picked the other way. I didn't expect that. I guess Clay Hyatt come out ready to go.
Yeah, I took the Rebels in the spread, 14.5, but it actually got modeled tonight in the spread too, so I'm pretty happy about those two games. There's the man himself right there, D-Fly, DJ Kaufman, smiling. I know he's smiling tonight.
I'm sure he is.
It was a great game tonight. I'm on the car ride back. I'm not driving, so we're good. Yeah, Haralson County came out from the start and just put it on them. Came out, won the coin toss, drove down to score. And then Callaway had 5 turnovers, if I'm not mistaken. Really shot themselves in the foot in the first quarter. Had 2 plays into the first drive, had a fumble. Their second drive, 3 plays in it, had an interception. They had multiple false start penalties on offense and defensive side. And Haralson jumped up 28-0 before, Callaway even knew what hit them. Come out, halftime. Callaway came out and scored 2 times real quick, kind of gassed the Haralson County defense over the middle. Haralson County was running a lot of man-to-man, and Callaway's receivers were just athletes and making plays. But in the end, Haralson County prevailed. Came out 42-14 when a lot of people didn't think that they would win. Shout out, my former coach, Coach White. He said that he believed that we'd probably get beat by 14. But me and him, we talked a few minutes ago. He was like, it's all love. And that puts, like we was talking about the other day, this puts us at a good place in the region standings. I believe that Haralson County will probably win this region. Callaway being second. Bold prediction is still week 1. But I feel like Haralson County will win it. Callaway second, Bremen third, and then Hurd, with a big win over Temple tonight, I feel like they'll solidify that 4th spot. But yeah, Clay Hyatt, he had 30 carries for 202 yards, added 12 yards. 12 tackles on defense. Offensive line, they did amazing. They was pushing Callaway's defensive line around, which I really didn't expect. I played Callaway in high school, and they was always big and physical. So for me, I came out expecting that Callaway was going to be big, physical, and hard to push around. But give credit to both the offensive and defensive line of Haralson County. Offensive line with creating holes, and even like the running backs, Wesley Cole and Caden Hughes, they was able to beat some of the Callaway athletes to the outside for some big runs and some big gains. The defensive line, they were my key coming into this game. If Haralson County was going to win, I felt like the defensive line had to have a great game. And Ethan Bell and Riley Bell, the 2 brothers, they had an amazing game. And there after halftime, you watched it, and it just seemed like Callaway had no energy left. And Haralson County was laying hit after hit after hit on Callaway, from their linebackers to the cornerbacks. It was like it was like the roles had been reversed for a lot of people. I give all the credit to the kids at Haralson County. They didn't let the haters get to them. They didn't let the people that doubted them get to them. They walked in there with their heads high, and they left with their heads high. Talking to a lot of people, even Coach Peavy, he said after the game, they was playing it, one game at a time. Practice this week, they taught discipline, and they just out-disciplined Callaway this week. So, looking forward to Haralson County playing Temple next week. Temple, falling to 1-4 after the loss to Herd. I'm not going to say it's not going to be a test, because as we know in North Georgia, any game can be a test for any team. But, I look forward to, seeing Haralson County back in action and seeing what they can do for the rest of the year.
Yeah, man.
All right, man.
Hey, just jumping in here, I'm sure you've seen it flashing across. The Calhoun Blessed Trinity game just went final. Calhoun picked off a pass with less than 10 seconds left. 32-27, Calhoun.
Wow. So that region could play out just like we thought. Cartersville, Calhoun, Blessed Trinity. And Cass with a big win tonight. So, that's what we all kind of agreed on last week.
Benton can probably speak to this one right here. Big game next week for Dade County.
It is a big game. You want to give coach speak, and you want to say, every game's the same. You know how coaches do. But I feel like there's a lot of kids on that Chautauqua team that remember what happened last year, and they didn't like that feeling. And I think it's going to be a very, very good game. Probably the game to watch this next week that I know of so far.
Yeah, to be honest, I think they're playing for a home field playoff game next Friday night.
It very well could be.
Yeah, I think
I think Pepperell might have something to say about it. But you're playing next week to try to eliminate a bunch of tiebreakers, because there could be some in 7AA in the end if certain things pan out.
I tell you, the way Model played Dade tonight and the way Pepperell looked for 3 quarters against Gordon Central, that Model game might be pretty tough, Pepperell Model.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Gordon Central physical up front, and they grind at you. They don't have the talent. They got the Gray kid is a pretty good player. They just didn't have the talent to break loose, but up front they were physical. They were tough to run on. Coosa did their best to make it difficult early. Deolis Millsap. Somebody blocked that guy, and it didn't happen much tonight, to be honest with you. So,
how about 6 AAA tonight, Chris? Do you see anything that surprised you?
Yeah, there was some very close games. I think we can start off with Adairsville and Coahulla Creek. Adairsville at Coahulla Creek. That was a 20-10 finish, and the game was never put away by Adairsville. It stayed close the whole game and went down to the wire. You also had Lafayette over at Ringgold, which was a big surprise. 24-17. Lafayette had the ball there that had a chance to tie it up. So they played them real tough. That was a Friday night rival game that was televised by the CW in Chattanooga. Rockmart, I think, was 49-0 over LFO at Rockmart. And I think Sonoraville was 48-7 over Murray County. North Murray, the game I was at tonight, they played an out-of-region game with Southeast. And, Southeast got a huge run game. They don't pass the ball a whole bunch. Jordan Trevino and Brady Inslee had touchdowns for Southeast. It was a healthy dose of just running the football there in the first half, and they were pretty successful. They put up 2 touchdowns. They were halftime score was 21-14. In the end, North Murray's offense really got it going. There was Seth Griffin had a 5 touchdown game. He threw for 4 and he ran for another 27-yarder. Huge games for Jaden Rice. I think he had over 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. One of those was rushing, and another huge game for Ethan Dempsey. He had about 100 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a 50-yard receiving touchdown. Another guy, these are some of the guys I'm gonna have to pick a player of the week for, and actually one of the guys I'm kind of torn on it between four dudes. Those three I just mentioned, and another guy, Austin Johnson. He plays center, but he played right guard tonight. They had a lot of guys just playing all over the place. There was a lot of Mountaineers played in this game. So a lot of the younger guys played in this game. They had some guys out, but I don't know if you follow my Twitter feed in that second half where it seemed like I was tweeting, North Murray scores after a Southeast punt. The reason there were so many Southeast punts because Austin Johnson had a huge game defensively. A lot of those fourth downs were brought up by him making a tackle for loss, a sack. I mean, it seemed like he was in on every big stop they had in that second half. So he had a huge game. I don't have his defensive stats, but I'm sure they're pretty impressive. So hats off to him for a big game. And North Murray finished. They won it 49-14. I think I posted a couple videos, highlights on my Twitter feed. We can probably pull up in a little bit. But that's how 6-3A played out tonight.
Was there anything that affects the way you see the playoff race, or is it still coming down to that Sonoraville-Daresville game Friday night?
I would say that a Daresville-Sonoraville game, that's a very important game. That's a very important game, especially for Sonoraville. I don't know if they have as many losses to give that as Daresville has. Daresville seems to have better footing with just the two losses because their schedule after that's a little bit easier. You want to make the playoffs. I mean, you got to win that game. So,
yeah. Who does North still have left on their schedule? They got Murray County,
LFO, Lafayette, or Adairsville, then Lafayette. So they've got some tough games, especially with the way Lafayette played Ringgold tonight at Ringgold. That could be a very important one there too. I mean, all of them are important. You never know what can happen, but that Adairsville and Lafayette games are huge for North Murray.
I got a little breaking news. We got some records broke tonight in Georgia high school football. Rayburn County, which is out of our area, but we all know who they are. In AA, 45-14 over Grovetown. That wasn't the record. The record was Gunnar Stockton broke Deshaun Watson's state total touchdown record, 218 total touchdowns in his high school career.
I think I've seen about 15 of them in person.
Yeah, I've seen a few too. Chattooga's been the 4 seed and went over there and seen Gunnar a couple times. I seen him when he was a freshman.
Yeah, I seen him as a freshman and a sophomore. Yeah, it's not fun.
No, I don't think we bode well against him either time. So
yeah.
Anyway.
I've got some unofficial stats I'll read off to you real quick. And one of them's kind of really important. All right, let me pull it up. All right, I got Seth Griffin at 267 passing, 4 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. He had a 27-yard rushing touchdown. It's pretty impressive. Jaden Rice, 206 receiving, and 2 receiving touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Ethan Dempsey, 96 rushing and 2 touchdowns and a 50-yard receiving touchdown. But the 267 for Seth Griffin, I think he entered the game at about 40 yards shy of the state lead in 3A passing. The guy in front of him had already played 6 games, and they were on a bye tonight. So this is his 6th game tonight. So I think he may have took the lead, unless somebody behind him had a 400-yard game. I think Seth took the lead in 3A passing for the state of Georgia tonight, which was a big deal.
I saw too where the 42 schools that we follow here, he was 7 yards behind the Calhoun quarterback for the Northwest Georgia football passing lead coming in tonight. So I guess it depends on what the Calhoun quarterback did tonight, but
yeah, depending on their stats.
I tell you the thing,
Zion.
Yeah, that's huge for the teams in the 6A public. Mount Zion pulling out an overtime win over Gordon Lee, 30-27.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the Armature Indians just have to either beat Tryon or Gordon Lee, and they're in the playoffs for the first time in about 12 years.
Yeah. So how about them Indians tonight? How'd they look?
They look pretty good, minus the first possession for best and the last possession. They came out and scored on their first possession and last possession, but it was all Armature Indians, center of the game.
Yeah.
It was hot down there.
What was the final score on that?
Final was 35-14.
35-14.
Yeah, best. I mean, they have some talent. They got a lot of quick players, but man, the penalties tonight killed them. They had more penalty yards than they had actual yards. They had 150 yards in penalties and probably 130 yards for the game. You can't win doing that. Now here's Charles, man, from tell us about Temple and Hurd. I guess Hurd had a big win tonight. What's going on, Charles?
How y'all doing?
How about those Braves, man?
Yeah, it was nice to see them get back on track, play a game. But overall, it was a good night.
What was the final score? I haven't even seen it come across yet.
49-20.
49-20.
Cam Bond punched it in as time ran out to get Temple up to 20.
Yeah, I think you'll have to feel pretty good about that win, man, because it kind of assures you a playoff spot, huh? I mean,
well, you would think, and last year Temple beat up. Temple thought they were assured a playoff spot, and they ended up being the ones sitting out. So, still enough football left to play. Really need to pick up at least one more win.
who do you guys have next?
We have a bye week next week, and then we host Bremen. We host Haralson County, and then we'll go to Bremen, and then we host Callaway to finish the season out.
What did the Hurd County faithful think about that Haralson County game tonight?
Well, I went last year to Haralson County Callaway game. So I mean, I knew Haralson could definitely compete with them. Didn't expect that score. That's for sure. I thought it was definitely going to be a good close game, is what I thought, and that either side had a chance to win. But the score did surprise me, especially we were looking at first quarter and saw 21-0, and everybody in our stands just our jaws were dropped and what's going on? But that Cam Bond, that kid has a good solid pass. He's got a good arm. Some colleges need to jump on him. He can zip that ball around.
Yeah, I say it all the time when I'm on these shows, man. He's the best pure quarterback I've seen live this season, man. If he had some wide receivers, I mean, he'd probably throw for 300 or 400 yards a game.
Yeah, that number one that they got, he scored their first 2 touchdowns on receptions, and then of course Cam ran in their last touchdown. And then Javon Moore was all over the place on defense. I kept seeing his number and hearing number, but that game got chippy quick in the first half. Usually you see games get chippy in the second half, but that game was chippy real quick.
I know Benton and all those guys who are 7AA fans hated to see Callaway lose tonight, man, because that probably means the 2 or 3 seeds going to have to play them.
Yeah, the defending state champ is.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd rather have them coming to us than I would have to go to them, though. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the lesser of the 2 evils.
Well,
but I mean, it's the whole Region 5. I mean, it looked like it's going to be like it was last year. We just all beat up on each other and see who's doing all right to advance.
The SEC of 2A football, Region 5.
Yeah, heard that a couple of times. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, Temple's definitely got some good players. It's just missing a few pieces. Of course, we're missing a few pieces too. I know Haralson County and talk of everything right now with what they did with Callaway, but I like our matchup with them a little bit better than I like our matchups with Callaway and Bremen. We seem to do better against the run than we do the pass. And of course, last year we stopped Haralson last year, so.
Hey, did a Chris end up buying you the hot dog and Coke, or did he sneak out the back door?
Yeah, I think he owes me barbecue. All that barbecue reps. There was. I mean, there was. One of our guys got face mask. They marked all 5 yards, and his head almost got ripped off. And then we face masked him, and it's a 15-yard penalty. It's like, okay, I see where we're playing at.
Where did Atwater say he was? He wasn't down there, was he?
Yeah.
He don't call penalties.
Yeah, he said he wasn't even taking a flag. Yeah, is that what he
Yeah.
said?
That require too much running.
Oh, he's still mad about that 77 points. He said he had to run too much.
Yeah, 6 miles
Yeah.
in one game.
Oh.
But yeah, there was a couple of punches thrown and got ejected. I mean, one of our guys got punched in the head. Of course, the kid punched got the worst end of the deal because, when you punch a helmet, it doesn't do much to the person with the helmet.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid there.
Yeah.
It got a little nasty in the first half. Second half was pretty clean, though. I think both coaches got into them at halftime and to knock off all this foolishness because it was a lot cleaner game in the second half.
I'm trying to see if I can pull up this interview with Peavy. See if I can get this over here on the. Still trying to figure out how to use this thing quickly.
But yeah, next week probably going up to Bremen and watch Cowboy Bremen game.
Talk about your preparation for this game. Talk about what this means for your team and for you.
Well, it was huge for us to play in Elbert County and get prepared for this game because we saw a really, really good physical Elbert County team, and then we had to show a lot of resiliency in coming back. So it really prepared us for this game, probably more so than regular practice. Just the fact is, and then our kids believe. I think they wanted to prove a point. I think a lot of media was saying that last year was kind of a fluke. We played on a rainy Tuesday, and they've got a great football team. And I'm not taking anything away from them, but I want to thank our guys and their tremendous effort. And you can't match our heart. And it's just fantastic to watch.
Of course. People are going to look at the box sheet, and they're going to see that Clay had 5 rushing touchdowns. As you taught us all well that it's a team effort. Talk about the offensive line and, Clay's effort and your whole offense's effort.
That's the best thing about what we do. I bet if you ask Clay, he doesn't know how many he had, and they just are selfless football players, and we just kind of do it for each other. And that's the best thing about this team is I don't know if we've ever had a group as close as they are. and Clay is going to be the first one to congratulate the offensive line for playing their guts out. So we're very fortunate in that. Nobody's worried about their stats. We just worry about the one stat that matters is that win.
Y'all travel. No, y'all host Temple next week, and talk about Temple.
You know, they're a really good football team that, you know, they got a lot of athletes. That quarterback is special. They got a receiver that can go get it. So, you know, it's going to be another big challenge for us. And, you know, our guys will get back to work. And you know, but here's the deal is that we just won a game that nobody thought we could win. And we're going to celebrate that for a while.
Yes, sir.
Coach Peavy. He's a heck of a guy, man. If you ever get a chance to meet him in person. Oh shoot, we got a star on Bruce Jenner. What's up, Bruce?
Hey, mama, come and get you.
Bruce Jenner.
Text me.
What's going on, Bruce?
Just coming back from Ridgeland, man.
Tell us about Pickens and Ridgeland.
Like the second play of the game, they picking Ridgeland through a pick six, and it pretty much went down. They came. Now Ridgeland did come right back down and score, and went for two and was up 8-7. But then after that, and just to the.
Well, Bruce, I think you're driving through the country, man, because you're
breaking up.
Coming in. Yeah, you're breaking up. You might have to pull over the gas station.
On this back road towards our merchant.
We don't have any cell phone. Yeah, we don't have any cell phone service out here, man.
No merchie.
Nah. Speaking of the 7-4A, man, I saw where Heritage went down to Central and got a win, huh? What was it, 1914, 1917? 1914. Heritage. Yeah, Heritage over Central. I think Heritage might wind up being the 2 seed in that 7-4A now. Yeah. I know they have a big game Friday against Northwest, which will probably determine that 2 seed.
Yep. Don't forget Pickens. Hey, before we go any further, can I mention a friend of the program here? J&W Sports Apparel and 119 East 11th or East Cherokee Street in Chatsworth. This is owned by Wes, and he does a lot of Georgia Bulldog player signings. Autograph signings there at his store, and he's a college apparel store. You know, Zeus has been there, Zamir White, and, you know, Max, Gene Giles, and plenty of Odell Thurman and plenty of other Bulldogs. This January, he's going to be having another signing, and I think you could see Ladd McConkey there. You might see George Pickens is another name that's been brought up. Zamir White will be back, and I've got confirmation today that Stetson Bennett, the mailman himself, has also reached out and could be doing an autograph signing here in Chatsworth, Georgia. So give J&W Sports Apparel a follow on Facebook. Join their group, and for all the people from J&W Sports Apparel group that's watching tonight, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys keep tuning in.
Yeah, we'll put the link up on our website, man. That way, if anybody missed it, they can find those guys. And
yeah, I want a mailman shirt. That's so I think we might have Bruce Jenner, Mr. Atwater.
Y'all can hear me now?
Yep.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, but Pickens, man, they ran away with it 45-8. Got real chippy. Chippy pretty much the whole game. But a couple of players were thrown out. Well, one player was thrown out, and Richland, they got a lot of work to do out there, man. They got to get some ball players. But Pickens looked pretty good to Richland. But you know, other than that, man, it was another runaway.
What game do you have next week, Michael? I mean, Bruce.
I got a game Thursday night football at Coosa. Coosa against Gordon Central.
Wow.
That should actually be a pretty good game. You know?
Yeah, that one should be pretty good. Man, that 7-4A is kind of bunching up there now. Uh-oh.
Bye-bye, Bruce Jenner.
I removed Bruce Jenner from the stream.
So 7-4A. Let's talk about that for a second. Central was a team that I thought, and before the year started, could play into this. That looking to play for that, number 2 seed, that home playoff game. They are running the risk of not making the playoffs this year. They are a very young team, but with Heritage's win tonight, and Pickens win tonight, and Northwest already having a win over Central, that's going to be tough for them to come back from. They're going to need some help.
Yeah, I saw this week on Twitter, man, where the Lions actually lost Cameron Edge for the year with a knee injury, which hurt.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, star player, already had a Georgia Tech offer, and yeah, he's done for the season. So
That's not good.
that seems to be a common occurrence here lately. Unfortunately, you know about that yourself there at North Murray.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Michael McDade for a moment tonight. And his spirits are surprisingly well. And looking at his body of work this year, he come out this year and I think he was the best receiver in the region. I think his stats pretty much speak for himself. In 3 games, 440 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's a huge 3-game stretch. We had talked in the preseason show about how it's hard for a receiver to put up the stats to be considered for an offensive player of the year. He was well on his way if you project his stats over a season. But the injury, it was heartbreaking. Michael McDade was a great high school football player. I think he's going to be a great college football player. I think there's a big comeback coming, and I'm just going to be there to cheer him on. I think a lot of folks keep these kids, especially the seniors, if you lose part of your senior year to the injury, keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and support them in their comeback, especially the ones going on to play that next level.
Yeah, I saw. Speaking of 6 AAA and wide receivers, I saw a kid's highlights this week on Twitter, man, that I was impressed with. Taylor Carroll in Murray County.
Yes, and it's another one of these players. There's some players out there. They're playing in a school that's having a down year, but they're absolute dudes. They're ball players, and they're putting up great stats and can play anywhere. And so these are the guys I like to see get out there and get some attention. And he's an absolute dude on the football field. I mean, he's got a pretty good highlight film if you check him out, even though he's playing on a team that they're having a down year. There's quite a few of those around the Northwest Georgia area.
Somebody said I need to have my background like Mr. Burge.
Mr. Burge.
I don't.
He's actually there. That's live.
Yeah, I don't know.
He showed up early.
I don't know if that background will be approved in my household.
This is my drink.
What does that say? Boone's Farm? No, Sprite.
Yeah, it's a Sprite. It's just green, and my green screen just deletes it.
That's pretty wild.
You can't see it at all.
Just see a post here from Jeff Poston. He says he's proud of our kids for finding a way to win tonight. Definitely took the third monkey mentality to get it done. Hats off to the model football team. Those kids played their butts off.
Yeah, that was an overtime win, wasn't it?
Yep.
By a field goal. So Dade keeps rolling. And so I think, what are they up at Fannin next week?
Dade is in Somerville next week. Yeah.
So Dade and Chattooga.
Yeah, Model and Fannin.
Model and Fannin. That's is it at Fannin? Because
it is at Model.
All right. Well, that'll give them at least a little bit extra luck facing that Fannin ball club. They seem to be a juggernaut right now. They just keep rolling on. Seth Reese continues to have a great year.
I got to jump off here, guys.
All right, man. Thanks, Charles, for joining us.
All right.
Thank you, Charles. We'll see you.
I'll catch y'all later, man.
All
See
right.
you, man.
See you, bud.
All right, man. I'm going to throw this one up here. This is another 6 AAA guy that having a heck of a season here. Chris Roper from Adairsville. He had 3 touchdowns tonight.
Yes, he did. Now hearing about hearing some of the things about the game, they said that the Coahuila Creek defense was doing really well stopping the inside run, and so that's when Chris Roper, who is another great athlete for Adairsville, took over, and he had a huge game.
Yeah, I see if I had any other highlights here that people have seen. I know you guys had some on earlier tonight, and
Yeah, I think I tagged you in a couple highlights. I had one, the Seth Griffin, the touchdown run. I had a great view for it. He's coming right at me, and I was standing there at the back of the end zone to see him come in.
I think we might have mentioned it earlier, but next Friday night, Christian Heritage at Darlington. That's going to be a heck of a game. That's probably for the 7A private title. Yeah. I got a text earlier tonight that said that Darlington was up 49-0 at halftime before they put the young guys in against Mount Perrin. And I actually thought Mount Perrin would keep that game close. I know the spread was 12.5, and I actually took Mount Perrin in the spread. But
yeah, this is me standing there in the end zone. This was a pretty neat view of it. Front row seat right there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a 27-yard run by Griffin. That was his 5th touchdown of the night. He threw 4 touchdowns this evening. So that's another big game by him.
Well, I would have plenty of Chattooga highlights to show you, but I get to the stadium, I set everything up on my tripod, put the lens on, powered on, start taking some snaps before the game starts. First snap comes up on the screen, no memory card.
That's not good.
And I didn't have one. So, yep, nothing for me this evening.
I've got phone videos. I've got a bunch of extra. I had both cameras with me, so I've got plenty extra photos.
Yeah, I
need a better camera.
I took mine to the game tonight. 5:30 start. The sun was right across from me, beating down in my face. I couldn't see the players on the field with the reflection, so I just put it up.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Talking about that, the Dade Chattooga game. Chattooga, I think Dade would say tonight they didn't play their best game, but Chattooga really the last 2 games against Gordon Central, and give them credit and give Coosa credit tonight, come out slow. Out of the gate slow. I think it was 7-3 at the end of the first quarter with Coosa. And, no offense to Coosa, but I mean, I think we were talking last week, it was 28-0. But, Coosa really, they didn't make as many mistakes early. They started making some late. Even the mistakes that they did make early, Chattooga couldn't capitalize on it. I felt like we were having to punt, and we shouldn't have. We were we would fumble the ball on second down and get behind the chains or something. And we did have a couple pass plays that were good. I think we had a 48-yard touchdown to Jalen Johnson, which has turned into a pretty good receiver when we throw it to him. And we actually had Hester out at receiver some tonight too. He ran a couple speed sweeps, and we had 2 wide receiver right. We had Jalen and Hester out there, and they had a safety over the top 20 yards off of Hester, and we just pop up and throw it right at him. I mean, he was getting 10 yards before contact, and I don't think you want to do that much.
Have you guys seen any stats or any scoring breakdowns of that Ringgold Lafayette game or the Sonoraville Murray County game?
I have not.
I don't think there's too many people that tweet about those games.
I did see where Jackson Pate this week was the 4th leading passer in Northwest Georgia, which I was surprised by. He's already thrown for over 1,000 yards.
Yeah. He's. I think it's Seth, and then Jackson Pate. It's the next 3A guy, and we had some highlights of him when they played North Murray, and he throws a Throws a nice ball. He's got a good arm. So where'd our scores go?
Yeah. Do you want to give your sports store a plug and read the scoreboard? Benton said he had a fan last week text in and said he'd like for us to read the scores every once in a while because they can't see them when they're driving.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
So this is the J&W Sports Apparel scoreboard. I'll read them off to you. Northwest Whitfield 23, Cedartown 57, Heritage 19, Central 14, Pickens 45, Ridgeland 48, North Murray 49, Southeast Whitfield 14, and Ringgold, a big one, a televised 24 over Lafayette 17. Rockmart keeps rolling on 56-0 over LFO. Adairsville holds on 20-10 over Coahulla Creek, and Sonoraville big over Murray County 48-7. And Haralson County in that Callaway game, Haralson County wins that 42-14. That was a surprise to a lot of people. Heard County 49-20 over what was that, Temple?
Temple.
Yeah, they're going back. They're going by far faster than I can read them.
It's tough.
Alexander 52 over Dalton 22. We thought that could have been a lot closer. We talked on our scoreboard show, and if you guys get the chance, go back and watch that scoreboard show we filmed on Wednesday night. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and I think some of these regions we had picked pretty right. And if you go back and watch our preseason shows, I think we had a good idea of what was going on because a lot of things are playing out like we thought they would. The teams we thought were teams, they're showing up, and the guys who we suspected might struggle, they are. So go back and watch it. Roundtable, and we might have some more roundtables coming up. I really like that. It was a lot of information in that roundtable show. If so you can get some good information from around the whole area.
Yeah, I'll tell you a game that everybody will have their eyes on next Friday is Cass and Hiram. If Cass wins that game, they're in the playoffs for the first time in 15 years.
That's it. You've got three tough teams in front of you. That's a loaded region: Cartersville, Calhoun, Blessed Trinity. So Cass has always had a tough fight, because when everybody thinks of what is it, 5A? When everybody thinks of that region, they think of those three. They don't think of anybody else. And Cass, I think, had a good football team. They had that tough loss to Adairsville, the Battle of Bartow down there this year earlier. But I still think they're a great football team. So hats off to them, 15 years making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's so tough when you got, 3 of the top 6 teams in the state there,
Yeah. Everybody above you is a top 10 team. Villa Rica's had a heck of a year. 49-0 over North Springs. I see there's quite a few dudes down there at Villa Rica getting offers that I see.
I'm Randy, and I'm Dave.
Several. Yeah, and Tim Barron, he did a great job with Heard County. Coming up there his first year there with Villa Rica.
Yeah,
I could see them sliding into the 1 spot in that region.
Yeah.
Well, I was just looking at the 7AA standings.
Can you put them up?
Yeah. It's not. It's a little bit off, but I will pull them up. It says Fannon's 3-0 in the region, which is not correct. They have an incorrectly labeled Banks County as a region game, but they're 2-0 in the region. Dade's 2-0. Chattooga is the only one that has officially punched their ticket to the playoffs with 3 wins. I think you have to have 3 wins in the region.
Yeah.
To qualify for the playoffs. So, that Dade and Chattooga game is going to be big next week, obviously. And then on down the road, the following week, Chattooga will go to Fannin, and then the last week of the season, Pepperell goes to Chattooga. So the meat of the schedule is now for the Indians.
Yeah.
You've qualified now. What position are you worthy of?
You don't want to be 4.
Yeah, that's what we all keep saying, and I mean it's true.
Yeah, they're playing Region 5, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh, geez.
So you would assume that Haralson and Callaway would probably be 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I think that's a
Haralson County is tough. I mean, and to go in there and do that to Callaway, I mean, you're talking about a defending state champ. And that's no pushover. And so 42-14, that's a huge win. And so the 4 seed from Region 7, you better be ready to you better eat your Wheaties that day.
it still could be I mean it could be any 4 of them, to be honest with you. See, mathematically right now I think Gordon Central and Coosa are mathematically out of it. Model could still play their way in. I don't know Model's remaining schedule.
Yeah, Model actually probably just has to beat Pepperell to get in if they, don't lose to Coosa or Gordon Central.
They have Fannin, Pepperell, Gordon Central remaining.
Yeah, they're going to need to win 2 of the 3.
Yeah, Pepperell, Fannin, in case there's any tie breaks.
Yeah.
Makes it tough there.
Cartersville, big over Hiram.
All right, guys, I got to slide out here and go to work, man. If y'all want to cover next week's games, I'm gonna go make some money.
Did you get my message earlier when I said that if the reclass happens and Rockmart comes back to AA, that we're going to sign a petition to send them to 5AA?
Yeah, I actually had a couple of people text me this week about that. They said that they will go to 5AA, especially if Bremen moves up. If Bremen goes to 6 AAA, they'll definitely go to 5AA.
Are we sure Bremen would go to 6 AAA?
They're going to appeal, I believe, is what I've heard. But I think even if they don't go, they'd have to put Rockmart in that region because there's only 5 teams there right now, where 7AA has what, 7?
7.
Yeah, so they'll try to balance it out.
Because you look at 6 AAA, we got 9 teams. Would they keep it 9 teams, or would they move 5 AAA to 8 teams? Because doesn't GAC move out of 5 AAA? I think with the reclass, and that would open up a spot for Bremen if they went to AAA. So we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out.
I mean, ideally, maybe there will be a situation where you can knock the amount of teams out. I mean, good gracious, you're talking 9 teams. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, 9 teams has always been tough. I mean, you're the only region in Georgia in all classifications with 9 teams.
Doesn't make much sense to me.
No.
But we'll see how that goes. I mean, they probably won't have final numbers till January?
Yeah.
All
right, guys. We'll see y'all this week, man.
All right, Lawrence, you take it easy.
All right, guys.
Want to just go ahead and go through next week's games and go from there?
Yep. Sounds good.
All righty. We'll just go through the regions like we talked about.
Yeah, that'll work.
The other day.
And next week, I think we're all going to get together again during the week.
Yeah. I think I was talking to Lawrence, and he said either Wednesday or Thursday would be good for him. So we'll get together and we'll put something out, whichever day is best for you.
Yeah, I'm available Wednesday. We'll put something out. Talk about all the region. Another roundtable. I really think there was a lot of good information in that roundtable we did the other day.
Yeah, I agree.
And
maybe invite some different guests and get some different opinions too.
Yeah.
Some of the same guys will come on if they want. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I think a couple thousand of you out there agreed too. That was some good stuff because you guys all tuned in. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at Single A, Region 7, private division. Christian Heritage is on the road at Darlington next week.
That's a big one.
That's a big one in that.
That's a very big one.
You would one would assume that, especially at Darlington would be the favorite, but if they want to make headway in that region, Christian Heritage probably needs a win.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Flipping over to 6A Public, there's only one game in the region next week, and that is Trine at Best Academy.
Yeah.
Best is, I would assume it would be at the same place that Lawrence went today, where Armurchie pulled out a 35-14 victory. I would favor the Bulldogs big time in that one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Moving on. Sorry, I'm pulling these up on the go. I think there's a full schedule. Oh, I've already clicked on 7AA, so we'll talk about them right quick first, and then we'll go to 5AA. I think there's a full schedule in 7AA next week. Gordon Central is at Coosa, which we've talked about.
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, our buddy Bruce Jenner will be refereeing. And the Reverend. Anyway.
And he does carry flags with him. I've seen him throw one in person this year several times. Don't let him tell you any different.
Fannin is at Model.
I like Fannin there. That's a tough team.
Yeah, too much for Model, I'd say.
Yeah.
If Model's able to stay close to Fannin,
if they can keep it within a score or two, something a playmaker can do something. That's
going to open some eyes for some folks.
Yes.
But I just don't see it. I just don't think Model offensively
can keep up.
Yeah, I don't think they can. I mean, I think you're going to have to score to beat Fannin, and I don't know if they can do it. And then, like I talked about, I think the biggest game in 7AA, especially with playoff implications, is Dade at Chattooga.
Yeah, especially with Chattooga already in, and Dade looking to get in, and not. I don't think Dade's just looking to get in the playoffs. They want a home playoff game.
Oh yeah, they want to be a Magic Morgan for first week.
Absolutely. So, and Coach Poston, if you're listening, when you get the T-shirts done, put me down for two of them. I think they got a great opportunity to do a big fundraiser, and I would love to be first in line to buy a couple of those shirts.
Yeah, I think that'd be an excellent fundraiser.
Yep. Just don't wear yours next Friday.
No. I'll probably be wearing something red. Probably this shirt. I wear it a good bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, that should be an interesting game. And then flip over to 5AA, which is probably the surpriser of the night, which will be Haralson beating Callaway so bad.
Yeah, that was big. So I mean, with that win, Haralson's got to be putting himself in some serious talk as a contender in AA. I don't see how you get a win like that and not be in serious talk as a contender. So good for them.
I'm not even sure. I'm not sure of the rankings. I don't really pay attention to like whatever the AJC or whatever puts out as far as rankings. But were they in the top 10? Do you know?
I think they were on and off in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. I know Callaway was up there. You always see Rabun County up there and a couple others, but they need to be in serious talks, contender talks, because that's a huge win right there.
I see Temple at Haralson County. next week. And then Callaway is on the road at Bremen. That'll be an interesting test. Callaway looking to bounce back off of the big loss. That's the only two region games in Region 5AA next week. Now, your big region here, they've been playing region games for about a year, I think.
Yeah, they start in early February.
But yeah, you got Rockmart at Murray County. That should be get everybody some playing time. Snorville at Adairsville. That's a big one.
That's the big one. That's the big one going on next week. That is our game of the week in the region. There's a lot of implications there. So I think both teams. Let me see. Yeah, we'll talk more about that on our weekday show.
I like it. I like it. I'm leaning toward the Phoenix. I know it's at Adairsville.
Yeah.
I've seen them both. I watched Norville. Dominate Fannin for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
I've seen Adairsville, and I felt like Chattooga could. When they played Adairsville, it was nothing at halftime, and we turned the ball over hump Team Z in times. I feel like it would be a better matchup today, not turn the ball over. But interesting. North Murray, your North Murray Mountaineers are on the road at Lakeview Fort Overthorpe.
Yep, up there at LFO. The last time we played at LFO was in 2019, and it was absolutely freezing that night. And I think I talked about that with somebody at the stadium before I left, and I told them that when we was up there, I think it was like 30 degrees. I was buying hot dogs 2 at a time and putting them in my pockets to keep my hands warm.
Wow.
That's how cold it was. So, yeah, we'll be up there, North Murray at LFO next Friday.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be as cold this next Friday as you were.
No.
Probably in the 60s. And then Coahulla Creek is on the road visiting the Ramblers at Lafayette. Lafayette showed a lot of fight today against Ringo.
Yeah, that score was a lot closer. Yeah, that was a lot closer than I thought it would be, and especially when you think that Lafayette had the ball right there towards the end, and they had a chance to tie it. So that was a big showing for them, I guess. When you put TV cameras on and you put you on the TV in Chattanooga, I mean they shined, but they couldn't pull out the win. I mean, Ringo's a tough team, especially when you get them at home. So,
excuse me. When you look at Lafayette's remaining schedule, they better beat Coahulla Creek because you're looking at Snorville, Rockmart, North Murray to finish the year. Tough game.
That's what we was talking about the other night. It's just a tough schedule, and they go from Adairsville, Ringgold, and then they go right into Coahulla Creek, Rockmart, North Murray, and all of them to finish the season. So that was a tough schedule for Lafayette, how it worked out for them.
Moving on to 7 Quad A, Ridgeland is on the road at Cedartown. Oof.
Yeah.
Cedartown's really good. Yeah, that's a good little trip too. That's not exactly close.
No, some of these regions up here are spread out really far. Are you talking about Pepperell to Fannin? That's a big drive.
Dade to Fannin.
Dade to Fannin.
Jeez.
And then, Ridgeland to Cedartown. I mean, those are big drives, man. 2-hour drives and region play. So
you got Central will be on the road at Pickens.
That's a very important game right there for Pickens and Central. I think Central's back's against the wall now, and you talk about the region, and we can talk more about that during the weekday show.
I think Central's dropped 2 in a row, haven't they?
Yes. Both region games with Cedartown still left to play.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and Heritage. They got to play. Yeah, they got to play Heritage and Cedartown.
Speaking of Heritage, good segue. Heritage is on the road at Northwest Whitfield. That's
That is a very important one. Yeah, that will probably be one of the bigger games here in the area because that means a lot now. When you factor in that Heritage win they just got down there, so we could
shoot some up.
Yeah, 2 or 3 could be decided next week, and then you'll have another big one, the Pickens Northwest game and the Pickens Heritage game. So we got some big games coming up in 7-4A.
Just going through these next week's schedule, you already see a lot that we can discuss during our show this week.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch to talk about and 3A, 4A, yeah, and 2A.
See if I can find the 5A region. I always forget which one it is. Region 7 5A.
Yep.
Blessed Trinity and Calhoun played pretty close. Cartersville is at Blessed Trinity next week.
Another big week of games for that region.
Yeah. Woodland's on the road at Calhoun. You'd probably favor Calhoun in that one. And then the one
heavy.
that sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty Calhoun would be favored pretty heavy there.
And then the one that Lawrence mentioned earlier, Hiram at Cass.
Yeah.
Cass looking to get in the playoffs for the first time in how long?
15 years, and they can do it next Friday.
They could with a win, they're in the playoffs, huh?
I think so. Yeah, we'll have to put that on the screen for a weekday show. Talk about it.
No, there's a lot to talk about. Hiram, I got Hiram on here at 0-7. I don't know how you played 7 games. I guess you could have 7 games. But, Max Preps is slipping.
Yeah, Max Preps is not always accurate.
Yeah, that's why I had to double check before I said that. 6A. Region 5, 6A. I just happened to remember that. Paulding County at East Paulding, and that is the only Region 5, 6A game next week. I guess everybody else is on bye.
Wow.
I know, right? Just looking ahead to the following week, October 22nd. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but you got Rome and Alexander. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
For a playoff position there.
Yeah.
And that's as big as we get.
I think Rome keeps taking care of business. I
think Rome after that loss.
And that was eye-opening.
Yep. And Bruce Jenner probably had it right when he was the other day when he was talking about the fact that that championship year when Rome started that big run there, they lost 2 games early in the year, and it kind of just changed the way they thought about it. And they gained momentum, and they went and they started whooping people.
Yeah, and they whooped Carrollton, which is not easy to do. They're very good. So that does it, and I hope we can get with you guys and give you some content sometime in midweek, hopefully maybe Wednesday. Give you another roundtable
for Wednesday. If the timing was okay, we'll probably shoot for Wednesday at 7 again. That gives everybody plenty of time. But we'll put it out. You can see it. It'll show you on the Facebook pages, on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. All the accounts we're streaming the Twitch now. We got 2 different YouTubes, 2 Facebooks, 2 Twitters, and a Twitch account that we're all on. If you haven't heard of Twitch, it's like where you can put talk shows, where you can put live video game streaming, all kind of different stuff.
Yeah.
So we're under the sports section on Twitch, which I do not have a Twitch account, but
thank you guys for tuning in too. So
yeah, absolutely. And what was your sponsor again? You want to shoot
J&W Sports Apparel here in Chatsworth, Georgia, 119 East Cherokee Street. They've got everything you need if you're a sports fan. Check them out, and they've got some big Georgia Bulldog, former and current Bulldog players lining up some autograph signing sessions. So I'll keep you updated on that, and join the Facebook group, and you can hear more about it.
What's the website to find them?
I think mostly they're on Facebook. It's a
Okay.
Facebook group called J&W Sports Apparel.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll update everybody, as the
Boom.
yeah, there you go, as the signings get closer, and I would like to. I've got an Odell Thurman jersey. I want him to sign. I had him sign a ball earlier, and
Sweet.
and Zamir White was there. So there's some pretty cool dudes coming to Chatsworth. Pretty good Bulldogs. So if you want to get an autograph and meet some of your guys you cheer on Saturday, pay attention there, and you can do it.
Oh man. I was just watching a play that was on one of the highlights for Calhoun and Blessed Trinity.
Yeah.
It was in the second quarter. Blessed Trinity was throwing a deep pass, and Calhoun defender went up and Odell Beckham'd it. Brought it in one-handed and brought it back. That's pretty good.
Was that Cole Spear?
I could have been. There's no way I'm going to tease it and not show it now. So give me 1 second now.
This could have been Cole Spear.
Did you hear about it?
No, but that dude makes plays like that. So
okay, it's just that dude, huh?
That dude,
all
future
right,
dog right there.
Let's take a look at it here.
Let's see who this is.
Goes in motion, handoff fake to Haynes, throwing for French, got a man.
Boom!
Wow!
You believe that? What an unbelievable!
I don't know who that 6 is. What the number is?
We got to look that up now.
You might see that play later tonight on the national top 10.
On the top 10 play. Let's see here. I will definitely look it up.
Yeah, we got to look that up. I didn't know who that is.
Number 6. And he's going to get some recognition here on the Scoreboard show. Number 6 is going to be Gage Leonard.
Gage Leonard, I've heard that name before, and that was a heck of a play.
Yeah, that was a big time play. Listed as a linebacker, he was dropping back in the safety area.
Well, he's got the speed to get back there. Wow,
big
that's
play,
something, man.
All righty. All right. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it from us this week. And like I said, we'll be on probably midweek sometime. Come check us out. We're going to talk about all the different regions, ranging from, single A, private, public, 5 AA, 7 AA, triple A in our area, quad A, 5A, 6A, all the way up. And any other news that we have. That's all I got.
That's all I got. And I will see you guys. Hopefully we'll see you midweek. So just pay attention, and we'll let you know when we're getting ready to do a show. And don't be afraid to join in. Just send us an idea you want to talk about on the show, and we'll send you a link.
Yeah, if you're a sports fan and you go out and follow 5 AA or 7 AA or whatever region, whatever team, you can come on and talk about your team and tell us how you think your region is going to finish. You don't have to stay on live for an hour or however long we're on there. You can pop in. If you watch the show, you can just pop in right when your region comes up, and we'll give you a chance to put your face on the computer or TV.
All you need is a cell phone.
That's all you need. You don't have to have fancy stuff where you got invisible bottles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All righty. We'll see you, man.
All right. We'll see you guys later.